Alright guys, still working on ancient Greece. Gonna take a break here for about 4 days and write a Athens versus Greece DBQ. Just wanted to kind of get you in the mood here a little bit as we get rolling. As we talked about in class, the website has a new look to it. Obviously, all of your weeks are over here on the left. You're coming up on week 10, so week 10 is going to get moved from here all the way up here to the top. Week 9 will get moved down here. So all the weeks that we've previously done run down the side, and then the week that we're currently in is right here underneath the home page. On the home page, you have the textbook, you have the course syllabus, and you have the assignment calendar. If you go through the assignment calendar, you should be able to actually embed this on your phone. It's a Google Calendar, so you can get it right to your phone if you want. If you click on the day and the event, that tells you exactly what we're going to be doing for each day. And then when you jump over here to the week, still going to have your daily agenda right over here, and the basic idea for week 10 is that each person is going to write an essay. They're going to get an 85% or better on the rubric that we've been working on. The rubric is attached down here. All your DBQ documents are attached here, and they're broken up by day on each day here. So let's go ahead and take a look at Monday. For Monday, your homework is going to be these background essay questions. And as you can see, they're due on Tuesday, so if you click on them, it should pop up and give you the background essay questions. Here is some sample notes for the DBQ. We'll go through that here in a minute. And then here are your discussion questions for week 10. If you have any questions regarding what we're doing in class tomorrow, please post to the discussion board before you come in. If you are in 2 through 6 or 8th hour, you don't have access to this discussion board, but if you do have questions, feel free to email them to danielc@ksdr1.net. Now, as for the background essay itself, we're going to click on the link. Hopefully it will take me there. Alright, as you can see, the hook exercise is here now. If you click on it, it's going to take you to it, and essentially what you're going to look at is, do you support each of these? What we'll do for our intro here is we're going to go through and talk about must be at least 18 years of age, and in fact, do you support the fact that you must be 18 years of age or older to become a citizen of the United States? If you do support it, be ready to have some evidence to defend that. If you don't support it, then obviously know why you don't support it, and so on for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. A couple that we have had heated debates about is must have lived in the United States for at least 5 years, must have legally been admitted to the U.S. or have a green card. Some other things that are kind of hot topics: must be able to speak, read, and write English, and must pass a test on the U.S. history and Constitution, must swear allegiance or loyalty to the United States. So those are kind of some of the hot topic issues that we've discussed in the past. Remember that in a class discussion you need to be respectful to one another. You also need to understand that your opinion doesn't have to be everyone else's opinion. So just make sure that you're respectful, you defend your own opinion, you back it up with evidence, and you say what you feel. Finally, there have been proposals to add other citizenship requirements. Which of the following would you support? 1 year of national service, either in the military or a public agency like a school or national park service. 2, must have graduated from high school or received a GED. 3, must be in school, have proof of employment or proof of net worth of $100,000. Now, number 1 is pertinent in the fact that in Greece you're looking at only people who own land are citizens essentially, and the other thing that you have to know is that they all receive at least 2 years of military training. Some other places that currently do this in the world, Israel, they have, I think, at least a 2-year requirement, if not a 4-year requirement of military service for all male citizens and some of their female citizens. Graduated from high school shouldn't be a major deal, but probably would limit, certainly would limit my grandparents, who are very, very productive citizens, from having citizenship because they needed to go to work after 8th grade to help their family. So that would eliminate some people from being citizens. And then finally, must be in school or have proof of employment or proof of a net worth of $100,000. That net worth could be an interesting or sticky situation because, if you have a mortgage on your home, that could wipe out a large amount of value that you would have on your savings or you know, in any way, shape, or form. So that would eliminate a lot of people from being citizens, and it would be a property requirement. Some of these things are what we're going to talk about in our papers as well. So if you have any questions about the hook exercise, this is what we're going to discuss as soon as you walk in. We're going to try and take about 5 to 7 minutes on that. If you head back to Modern Monday, the background essay will be the next thing that we are going to do. For some reason, this is huge on here, so what you should do is hit Control and then zoom out just a hair. And I do that with the wheelie ball. You just roll it down on your mouse, or you can hit Control minus, I think someone was telling me earlier. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to read each paragraph of the background essay. And what I want you to do is I want you to include the entire citation for the background essay. So a place where you can get that, if you go back to week 10, you're going to go to the Greece versus Rome DBQ, and obviously I've still zoomed out here, so let me zoom back in so you can see it. DBQ outline. Once it's downloaded, you're going to go ahead and click on it. Alright, and here's the outline for the final paper. We're going to scroll down, and here's the works cited page. I've already provided you with an example of a full works cited. I've enabled editing so that we can copy this. We want to Control C, and then we want to paste that onto a Google Doc. So we're going to go here, we're going to create document. Title of the document, I would title it last name Daniels, notes for Citizenship DBQ. And obviously I can't spell citizenship, so we'll go ahead and right click that, get it taken care of. And then what I'd like for you to do is Control V. Now, this is not in the correct formatting, so we're going to need to format it again. Backspace, Enter, Tab there. We'll tab this over. We'll go down to the next line. We'll tab this over and hit Backspace. So this is the correct format here. Just a minute as I get it all taken care of for the citation on the background essay. Now, this is going to be the first bullet point of your notes, and anything underneath this should be a 2. It's a power 2 when we talk about it in our power notes. Power 2 means that it is simply a subheading or a summary of a paragraph. So instead of putting 2's in here, what we're going to do is we're going to change this to a paragraph and number. This is simply what goes in your paper. The other part of that, if we go back to the sample outline here, you can see that the other part of this has been shown to you here. The DBQ project paragraph number is what goes in there. So if you wanted to start doing that now, you could say DBQ project paragraph 1. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the actual background essay. Should kick right open here. For some reason it's not. Give it just a minute. Let's hit the refresh. That's the problem. Okay, so I'll have to edit that out. But anyway, we'll go back to the background essay. As I said, it's going to be huge, so we're going to wheelie ball it down. Alright, but we're going to keep it pretty big here so that you can see it. And we're going to read this first sentence. And essentially what we're going to do in that subheading is we're going to summarize the first sentence. So, about 500 BCE, on the Greek and Italian peninsulas of the Mediterranean Sea, a new idea began to take shape. This was the notion that people were citizens of a state or empire, and that being a citizen meant not only meeting certain responsibilities, but also enjoying certain rights. So right here we see two pretty key words, responsibilities and rights. Those are going to be keys to our paper. Before this time, in places like Egypt, Babylonia, and ancient China, individuals were generally regarded as subjects, not as citizens. Power was largely in the hands of a pharaoh, king, or emperor, and thousands of administrators who carried out the ruler's commands, but by the 6th century BCE, a new idea was emerging, that ordinary people should play a more significant role in the life of the state. Now, we talked about this in our Try It Out Tuesday of last week. Clearly, Greece is getting its power from the ordinary citizens who are fighting in the military. They're defending them against Persia, so there's this new idea that's kicking out. So what we're going to do then is we're going to jump back to our notes, and DBQ project paragraph 1, we're going to summarize it. Now, what is the main idea of paragraph 1? Greece is changing its ideas about government, including citizens in decisions, and exploring certain rights and responsibilities. Now, if there's anything in this paragraph that I would like to make a detail, all of my details are going to be power 3s. Those details are going to be your evidences in your papers. So you're going to look at the paragraph, you're going to then go down to the details and figure out if you want to include any of that in your paper. So let's go back to Blackboard and let's look through this again. The Mediterranean Sea is now going to take shape. People were citizens of a state or empire, and that being a citizen meant not only meeting certain responsibilities but also enjoying certain rights. I'm going to go ahead and use that in my paper, and I'm going to make it a direct quote. Alright, one of the ways that I've tried to make this a little bit easier is I've created 2 windows. I drug my Google form outside of the address bar up here, made it minimize the window, not all the way minimized, but made it smaller. Also made it smaller on the document. As you can see over here on the left, here's the quote that I'm looking to get, and I can type it right away. Citizens of a state, or, again, keep an eye on your spelling, or empire, and that being a citizen meant not only meeting certain responsibilities, but also enjoying certain rights. Alright, now, avoid the temptation to put a period there. Got a red line on here, let's right click it. Here's how you spell responsibilities. This is a direct quote, so it's going to need quotations. And at the end of this in your paper, you will just simply copy, Control C, and paste the paragraph. This, as I noticed, needs to be lowercase, and I'll make changes on that. And then you put your period outside of that, and that's how you cite it. If there's anything else from paragraph 1 that you'd like to include, you might say something to the fact of, before this time in places like Egypt, Babylonia, and ancient China, individuals were generally regarded as subjects. So another detail would be before Greece, a summary here, in the ancient civilizations, people were ruled over, subjects. Okay, again, avoid the urge to put the period here. In your paper only, obviously not in your notes, because in your notes they're all underneath paragraph 1, but in your paper, if you were to include this, you would then go ahead and paste in your source right here, throw in your paragraph, or your period, and make sure that it's PIR lowercase 1, as this is a web document that we're working with. So if you have any questions about that, we'll be going through that in class. And that is my time today, so I'm going to go ahead and post this video. Hang in there for the rest of the week, and we'll get more and more details. The last thing that I need to share with you is that with your background essay. So let's go ahead and make this big again. With your background essay, because of the need to look at the key terms, your assignment is going to be the background essay questions. So what you want to do is you want to click on this here, open the essay questions, and answer these 6 questions and define these 6 terms right here. Additionally, if you are wanting to quote any of this, whoops, let's make that minus again. If you want to quote any of this for time frame sake, here is a timeline down here that could go in your notepad very easily. All right, thank you for watching today. I know I went a little bit over time, but look forward to seeing you in class, and look forward to getting some more videos up and running. Have a good evening.